We now have the makings of what may very well turn out to be one of the biggest insider trading scandals in this country's history, and it goes right up to the White House. Let me explain. We, of course, all saw Donald Trump's announcement yesterday declaring a 90-day pause on his tariffs that were sending the global economy into a freefall. But there was another post that he published 4 hours earlier, wherein he wrote, "This is a great time to buy." And then he signed it DJT, Donald J. Trump. In other words, if you follow Trump on social media, on Truth Social, you may very well have gotten a personally signed heads up from the President of the United States before his own decision would impact the very market that he was hinting that you should buy into. One Twitter user who covers stocks, options, and markets and has over 2 million followers pointed out, all right, I think people knew of the tariff pause and traded it beforehand. You can see before Trump posted buy on Truth Social, traders opened QQQ, TQQQ, and SPY calls right before the news. Someone opened SPY 509 calls expiring today. Those calls are up 2,000% in 1 hour, and finished off the tweet with, insane, someone new. Another Twitter user noted the same phenomenon. NASDAQ call volume spiked minutes before the 90-day tariff pause was announced. Not a good look at all. And one more. SPY calls spiked by a factor of 10, just 10 minutes before Trump announced he was pausing tariffs. Everything is a scam for these people. Now, who exactly these people are remains to be seen. But AOC weighed in, writing, any member of Congress who purchased stocks in the last 48 hours should probably disclose that now. I've been hearing some interesting chatter on the floor. Disclosure deadline is May 15th. We're about to learn a few things. It's time to ban insider trading in Congress. Adam Schiff did too, writing, Trump is creating giant market fluctuations with his on-again, off-again tariffs. These constant gyrations in policy provide dangerous opportunities for insider trading. Who in the administration knew about Trump's latest tariff flip-flop ahead of time? Did anyone buy or sell stocks and profit at the public's expense? I'm writing to the White House. The public has a right to know. In fact, Bernie Sanders went on national television to pose the same exact question.
Would I be surprised if there were people who hours before knew exactly what Trump was going to do in rescinding his tariff proposals, understanding that the stock market would soar and you make huge amounts of money? Would I be shocked if we learned about that in the days to come? No, I would not.
Does that announcement that he gave cover to anybody who did buy stocks?
Well, what it does do, look, if you know 2 hours earlier that the stock market's going to go, what are you going to do? You're going to buy a hell of a lot of stock. You can invest in the stock market. But it's not only that. I mean, you got a president of the United States who is now working to give government cover to crypto, and whose family is involved in crypto, makes money by selling coins, crypto coins. Anybody can contribute, which is a direct line to the president.
And Chris Murphy prosecuted the case in devastating fashion here.
So I have questions about the tariff announcements today, who benefited and who made money. And this should matter to you too, because this could be an enormous scam. What we know is that about 9:30 today, Trump posts on social media that people should buy. It's a good time to buy. And then 3 hours later, guess what? He announces that there's going to be a 90-day suspension of many of the tariffs. Predictably, the market, which had been crashing, shoots up. And anyone who made investments early today likely made a lot of money. And so the question is, who close to Trump knew that he was going to suspend the tariffs? Which of his Mar-a-Lago friends or his billionaire advisors were able to capitalize on that inside information? Why did Trump send out that post to his supporters earlier in the day? The bottom line is that the chaotic nature of this tariff policy, with Trump's position changing every single hour, gives ample opportunity for any individual who has early access to information about the White House's change in position to make boatloads of money, either by investing at the right time or pulling their money out of the market at the right time. This entire White House is one giant grift. Donald Trump and his friends are in power in order to use their access to government to make money. It stinks, and we should get to the bottom of it.
Even Elizabeth Warren weighed in.
Donald Trump is trashing our economy. First, Donald Trump imposed across-the-board tariffs. Then, just a few hours ago, he dropped those tariffs to 10% on everyone and moved the tariffs up to 125% on China, up from 105% yesterday. Now, there's confusion, there's chaos. No one knows what the tariffs will be tomorrow or the next day or next week or next month. But here's what we do know. Are prices still going up? Yes. Are businesses still wary about investing? Yes. Are millions of working people still worried about their jobs and millions of small businesses still worried about closing shop? Yes. And right before Donald Trump declared that some of his tariffs were off again, he sent out a message to his billionaire buddies. He posted, "This is a great time to buy," in all caps. Was that market manipulation? Was it corruption in plain sight? We need an independent investigation into market manipulation because Americans need to know whether President Trump or anyone in his administration manipulated the market to benefit their donors, all while they are working for the American people and while small businesses and those working families are paying a price. It's a disaster. But here's the thing. Republicans in Congress have a chance to stop him right now. If they do nothing, they, along with Trump, are responsible for the fallout. Congress could end this dangerous trade war right now by passing my bipartisan resolution with Senator Ron Wyden to turn off the fake emergency authority that Donald Trump is using to impose his worldwide and chaotic tariffs. So I have a simple question for the Senate. Why aren't we passing this resolution this instant?
The White House, for its part, did respond to the claims. According to a statement from Trump's spokesman, it is the responsibility of the President of the United States to reassure the markets and Americans about their economic security in the face of nonstop media fear-mongering. Instead of grasping at straws to try landing a punch on President Trump, Democrats should focus on working with the administration to restore American greatness. Notably, according to NBC, a Justice Department spokesperson declined to comment. A Securities and Exchange Commission did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Now look, I want to be clear that as of right now, there is no evidence that a crime has occurred, but there's certainly questions that arise from what we can all very plainly see. And I could assure you that if you transposed a Democrat into Trump's shoes, having done the exact same thing, there would be a Republican-led subcommittee formed today to investigate exactly what happened, exactly who was tipped off, exactly who bought call options, and exactly who was notified what the president would do before the president did it. I understand that corruption runs rampant in this administration, but that doesn't mean we let criminality occur with impunity. Of course, the sad reality is that in the Trump era, the very regulators who would be tasked with investigating or prosecuting this kind of activity simply won't. Trump's DOJ, his FBI, his SEC are not there to uphold the law. They are there to protect Donald Trump first and foremost. All of which underscores the need for Democrats in Congress, for independent agencies, and yes, even Republicans who maybe have one single vertebrae left to speak out and demand accountability. If we have any levers at our disposal, now is the time to use them. Before you go, first, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we're now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they're willing to cater to this White House. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a great way for me to be able to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's completely free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support my work. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.